Tutorial 1. Unboxing and Orientation to the Orbit Player. In this tutorial, we'll cover what's in the box when you receive your Orbit Player and a detailed description and orientation to the player. First, congratulations on purchasing your new Orbit Player. As you learn the utility, facility, and power of your Orbit Player, you'll quickly come to realize how it can serve you in many ways and on a daily basis. So let's begin by opening your shipping box, and here's what you should find in the box. Within the cardboard shipping container is the actual Orbit Player box, and upon lifting the cover of the box, the first item you'll encounter is a printed quick start sheet of instructions. Under these instructions, you'll find the player itself contained in a bubble wrap bag. Lift the flap of the bag to pull out the player. Underneath the player is a cardboard insert which supports the player and separates it from the contents under the player. Removing the cardboard insert reveals a cellophane bag containing a standard USB charging unit with prongs for plugging into an electrical outlet on one side and a female USB-A port on the other. Next to the charger, you'll find a folded 1 meter in length power cord with a male USB-A connector at one end for plugging into the charger, and on the other end a USB-C connector for plugging into the player. A small plastic sleeve holds the power cord folded. Beneath these two items, you'll find a single-page Braille Quick Start Guide. It's strongly suggested that you hold on to the player's box for storing the player, and for shipping should it ever be necessary to return the player for repair. Now that you know the contents of the box, it's time to familiarize yourself with the player. So lay the player on a flat surface in front of you, with of course all the operational buttons facing up. Examining the button arrangement, you'll notice two button groupings, separated by a plastic bar which curves in toward the body of the player at each end. One grouping is the control navigation pad, a rectangular area with a button in each corner and a navigation cross in the middle. The other button grouping is a standard 12-button numeric keypad. Orient the player so that the numeric keypad is closest to you and the control navigation pad away from you. Let's first examine the control navigation pad. In the middle, you'll find a navigation cross having 5 buttons with tactile markings, these being up, down, left, and right arrow keys, enabling navigation through menus within applications and facilitating other functions. Centered in the middle of the arrows, you'll find the square-shaped Select button used for confirming selections. Widening your examination of the control navigation pad, you'll notice a key at each corner of the pad. Each of these keys perform a specific function when pressed individually or in combination with other keys. These keys are, at the top left corner, the Menu key for accessing menus and other system options. At the bottom left corner, the Home key for returning you back to the home screen from any application or system option. At the top right corner, the Record button for beginning a voice recording. Now, the utility and power of this button is that no matter what application you're in, no matter what you're doing on the player, you can initiate a recording by pressing this button. Lastly, at the bottom right corner of the navigation pad is the Back key for stepping back a step at a time through menus and applications. Now shift your focus away from the navigation pad by moving your fingers closer to you. You'll find below the navigation pad a tactile separation bar, which, as mentioned previously, separates the control navigation pad from the numeric keypad. In examining the numeric keypad, you'll find the button arrangement to be the traditional numeric keypad layout with numbers 1 through 3 on the first row, 4 through 6 on the second, 7 through 9 on the third, and *0 and the pound key on the fourth row. The keys of the numeric keypad serve multiple purposes, for they can be used in combination with the Home key and other function keys for various shortcuts. One use of the numeric keypad is to immediately launch an application. For example, if the media player is listed as the second application, pressing 2 on the numeric keypad will immediately open the media player. The numeric keypad will also function as a T9 typing keypad, which will be explained further in the next tutorial. Below the numeric keypad and closest to you, you'll find the speaker grill, from which, as you would expect, all the player's audio emanates. Now that we've examined the front face of the player, let's examine the side, top, bottom, and back of the player. The bottom of the player, that is, the narrow side of the player closest to you, has neither buttons nor ports. Moving to the right side of the player will begin at the top edge, meaning the end furthest from you, and moving your finger along the right side toward you, you'll first encounter the power button. The button is identified with a raised tactile dot at its center. An explanation of the several uses of the power button will be provided in the next tutorial. Continuing to move your finger down the right side toward you, you'll next encounter a slim, triangularly shaped button, the raise volume control, and just beyond it, closer to you, you'll find a similarly shaped button, the lower volume control. You'll notice that these buttons point in opposite directions, up, away from you, down, toward you. When these controls are pushed simultaneously, they'll allow you to adjust the player's main volume, speech pitch, and speech rate. But more about that in the next tutorial. With no further controls or ports on the right edge, let's examine the top edge of the player. That is, the narrow edge furthest from you. Near the right end of the top of the player is a 3.5 millimeter audio jack for plugging in earphones or a portable speaker. With no other controls or ports on the top edge, we'll move now to the left side of the player. Moving your finger from the furthest end along the left side toward you, you'll first encounter a USB-C port used for charging the device and connecting it to a PC. Just beyond the USB-C port, you'll find the SD card slot, which accommodates standard SD cards up to 2 terabytes. It's very important that you insert the SD card correctly. Before attempting to slip the SD card into the slot, make sure that the contacts of the card are facing up, meaning facing toward the front or button side of the player. This at first may seem counterintuitive, but check that the corner of the SD card cut on an angle now faces the top of the player. The contacts of the card, that is, the ridges felt at one end of the card, are on the edge which is to be slid into the slot. Slide in the card until it meets a bit of resistance, then use your fingernail to press the card into the slot until you hear a click indicating that the card is locked into place. To remove the SD card, again with your fingernail, press in on the edge of the card until you hear a click indicating that it is unlocked. And being spring-loaded, the card should slide out of the slot sufficiently to allow you to grasp and remove the card. Finally, let's take a look at the back side of the player. From left to right, flip the player onto its button side. On the top half of the player's back, that is, the half furthest away from you, is the printed Orbit Research logo. Separating the top and bottom halves of the player, you'll feel a small, smooth indent traversing the player's back from left to right, which contains a clearly visible label containing a barcode and certification details for the player. Below the indent, and taking up the lower half of the back of the player, is the lid to the battery compartment. You'll feel 3 ridges which assist in the removal of the compartment lid. Further discussion regarding access to the battery and battery replacement will be provided in a later tutorial. Now that we've covered the unboxing and description of the Orbit player, in our next tutorial we'll cover in detail its basic operation.